Yulhee and Minhwan's drama just doesn't end. Now Minhwan is blaming Yulhee for everything. How the whole drama started is in this video, and now I will tell everything that happened after. According to the legal community, on November 4th, Yulhee submitted an application for mediation to the Seoul Family Court to request a change in custody, as well as alimony and asset division. Yulhee claims that during her divorce settlement with Minhwan last year, proper discussions regarding alimony or asset division did not take place. At the time of their divorce, custody of the children was granted to Minhwan. She said, "It may be late, but I feel I need to set things right, and wants to live as a respectable mother for my children." As before in a previous video that we talked about, Minhwan was under investigation for soliciting prostitution. And it all happened because Yulhee mentioned that he touched her in front of their family, saying, "He would touch my body or stick money into my chest." One netizen saw this and filed a complaint through the national petition system, requesting an investigation into Choi for violating the Anti-Prostitution Act. In response, the police began investigating Choi. However, it was reported that Yulhee refused to cooperate with police inquiries multiple times. At the end, the Seoul Gangnam Police Department announced on November 29 KST that they have decided not to forward the case against Choi Minhwan to prosecution, citing insufficient evidence for allegations of violating the Anti-Prostitution Act and misconduct. Yulhee's legal representative commented on the police's decision, clarifying that those specific incidents were not the decisive reason for the legal actions taken. Yulhee did not file the complaint, nor was it her intent to pursue punishment. While the matter could be relevant to argue about his parenting efforts, it was not the primary reason for her legal action. In response to the police's decision, Choi Minhwan shared the following statement on his Instagram: "Hello, this is Choi Minhwan. First, I sincerely apologize to the fans for causing concern due to this matter. My statement was delayed as I believed it was right to share my statement only after the investigation cleared me of the charges. More time was needed to ensure a thorough investigation. At the time, numerous articles were published even over a single comment by the members. In such a situation, with one-sided claims, false accusations, and numerous distorted speculations spreading as if they were facts, I felt that making a premature statement without any official result might only worsen the situation. Most importantly, I thought it was crucial to handle this matter properly, especially for the sake of my 3 children. To the fans and my fellow members, I offer my heartfelt apologies. I deeply regret and reflect on the hardship and pain I caused through my actions. I feel deeply regretful and am reflecting on myself deeply. I am truly sorry for the disappointment I brought and bow my head in apology. Moving forward, I will do my utmost to act with greater responsibility and maturity. I sincerely apologize and thank all those who have loved me. I am sorry and thank you from the bottom of my heart." On December 18th, Choi Minhwan took to the fan communication platform Weverse to defend himself again. He wrote, "To my precious fans, whom I love most in the world, I want to write a message without any connection to my agency." He began by stating, "When you're part of a company or a group, you realize there are so many things you have to protect beyond your stance. I have never engaged in prostitution as reported by the media. I was cleared of charges due to insufficient evidence. How do you prove something you didn't do? That's why I had nothing more to say, and it's been incredibly frustrating. The mention of hotels and motels in the recording was because I wanted to be alone at the time. I know it's hard to understand if I ask people to believe me, but that's the truth. I wish there were clear evidence to prove it, but since there isn't, I'm sorry. I had no way to explain or defend myself." Despite his explanation, fans questioned the audio recording that Yulhee had revealed. When one fan asked, "What does it mean to prepare 2 of XX and YY, and can't you book a hotel or motel by yourself, along with, are you still unable to say you didn't go to an establishment, referring to an adult entertainment venue?" Choi Minhwan replied, "I don't know what XX and YY are supposed to mean, but could it be conditioner and toothbrush?" It might sound silly, but I got a VAS clip a long time ago, so I don't need condoms. I always ask for a toothbrush for cleanliness no matter where I go, so I don't understand why there's so much suspicion around it. Korean netizens didn't buy his story, but honestly, the way he was desperately looking for girls in the audio recording was way too obvious. Silence would have been a better option. That explanation isn't even an explanation or a proper excuse. What even is that? He says he wanted to be alone, so he went to a motel. But that explanation doesn't add up. The logic doesn't track at all. Does he think people are stupid? Korean media was able to get police reports, and this what they found. It's true that I frequently visited adult entertainment establishments through the broker, but I never solicited prostitution. I don't even remember if I ended up going to an establishment that night. Who was also questioned by the police, testified, the conversation with Choi Minhwan that day was for a reservation at an adult entertainment establishment, not a prostitution business. Many K netizens were shocked and expressed disgust toward Choi Minhwan as he continued to maintain the stance that he had not gone to adult entertainment establishments. So, there are recorded calls, but no definitive evidence, right? Is that why he's bragging and running his mouth? If he had invested the money he spent on adult establishments into Bitcoin or the S&P 500 in his kids' savings accounts, imagine how much financial security they'd have by the time they turned 20. Hey, Dad, was it fun? Is probably what they'll be saying. Why leave behind a beautiful wife to fool around outside? And then he has the audacity to say nonsense to his fans? Then today, as of 13th of January, 2025, Minhwan sat down with Dispatch to give a full breakdown of his reasons for divorcing Yulhee. According to Minhwan, there were two additional issues before the divorce. The first crisis was caused by Yulhee herself. The issues were her frequent runaways and sleep habits. Choi Minhwan explained that Yulhee was not a dedicated mother and that she would party at night and sleep during the day. The second fault lay with Choi Minhwan. Yulhee discovered that he had visited an establishment in the second half of 2022. Deeply hurt, Yulhee was heartbroken, and Choi Minhwan apologized and sought forgiveness. The third conflict once again stemmed from Yulhee. Her napping and runaway behavior caused issues. In August 2023, Choi Minhwan said he could no longer live with her, and Yulhee admitted her faults as well. Choi Minhwan explained, "We lived together for 5 years. During that time, Yulhee ran away more than 20 times due to fights. Sometimes for a day or two, and sometimes for as long as a week to 10 days. Their 5 years of marriage were a continuous cycle of conflict, reconciliation, and conflict again." Choi Minhwan's visit to the establishment was just one of many issues, and it was not even brought up during the divorce settlement discussions. Dispatch reported, then, Yulhee suddenly changed her stance drastically. In October of last year, she revealed on her YouTube channel that Choi Minhwan had visited such establishments, attributing the divorce to his inappropriate behavior. Choi Minhwan explained to Dispatch that Yulhee then overturned the agreed divorce terms, demanding approximately $68,142 in alimony and approximately $682,000 in property division. She also requested custody of their children, demanding child support payments until the kids reached adulthood. Choi Minhwan has firmly stated that he absolutely cannot meet Yulhee's demands. From his perspective, Yulhee was the decisive cause of their divorce, which had already been finalized. Then Dispatch released the conversation between Minhwan and Yulhee, 2 August 10, 2021, conversation after 9 days. Yulhee, "Who called my mom in the middle of the night after our fight? It was you who tried to kick me out." Choi Minhwan, "And who sat next to my mom and said, 'Do you know what I've put up with because of you? If you were that frustrated and wanted to party, you should take this chance to enjoy yourself.' Yulhee, I cursed because I was furious after you called my mom in the middle of the night and told her to come take me away. I admit that cursing in front of your mom was wrong, and that's on me." Choi Minhwan, "Why do you think I called your mom? And when did I ever treat you like a housekeeper? Think about it. Ever since our mutual friend visited, you've been sleeping all the time. Was it wrong for me to feel hurt and bring it up? You were yelling hey and calling me you with that angry look in your eyes. I felt like I couldn't handle you anymore, so I called your mom. Yulhee, you were the one who yelled first. But yes, I admit that cursing and shouting was wrong. Choi Minhwan, even if we're fighting, there's a line that shouldn't be crossed. Choi Minhwan continued to tell Dispatch that the main reason for the divorce was Yulhee's excessive sleep. But when Dispatch questioned whether excessive sleep could be the reason for arguing, Minhwan explained, wouldn't it be a problem if someone sleeps 18 to 20 hours a day? And further added, Yulhee sleeps an abnormal amount. Sometimes, she sleeps 18 to 20 hours a day. When I bring it up, she gets furious. Then, she leaves the house. Over the past 5 years, she has left home more than 20 times. Who could endure that? Dispatch wondered if Yulhee's naps were to cope with the stress from childcare. Choi Minhwan served as a reservist on active duty from February 4, 2020 to September 2, 2021. During that time, Yulhee had to care for their 3 children. Dispatch questioned, could her naps have been a way to cope with the stress? However, Minhwan refuted, during my military service, we hired a caregiver who stayed from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. After I returned home, I took care of the children. My mother also helped with childcare, as well as preparing dinner and doing household chores. I never asked Yulhee to make dinner or wash the dishes. Choi Minhwan explained he could no longer handle the situation and messaged his manager about divorcing Yulhee. On August 1, 2021, the day Yulhee left home, Choi Minhwan sent a message to his agency manager. Choi Minhwan, we fought because she just sleeps all the time. I don't get it. How can someone sleep all day? Manager, maybe she's struggling with the stress of childcare. Bring her back quickly. Choi Minhwan, but I see everything myself. She doesn't even change a single diaper. She doesn't even care whether the kids eat or not. I'm home every day after work. She literally sleeps all day long. Manager, that's only been the case since you returned from service, right? Choi Minhwan, I go to work at 8 a.m. and come back at 4 p.m. She makes the kids nap for 4 hours during the day. I mean, sleeping is one thing, but she sleeps 18 hours a day. Minhwan also sent a message to Yulhee expressing his frustration about her excessive naps. Tong, Yulhee, I feel really sad. I want to talk with you and spend time together, but you sleep all the time even though I know you're tired. When are we ever going to talk? You can't tell me that you're upset about us sleeping separately when I'm just left alone and fall asleep by myself. We could spend at least one day talking about the kids and having conversations about different things. Today, I was watching videos of the kids by myself, even shedding tears alone. I really wanted to watch them with you and talk a bit, but no matter how much I tried to wake you up, you didn't respond. I woke you up because I just wanted to say thank you. Choi Minhwan also talked about Yulhee's runaways. He explained, Yulhee left home around August 19th. She was away for about a week and returned on the night of the 26th. She was drunk. She asked for forgiveness and promised, I'll never leave home again. According to Minhwan, Yulhee apologized first and they reconciled. However, Yulhee left home again 2 days later and returned home early the next day. She continued to go out at night and return the next day. Choi Minhwan claimed Yulhee would sleep all day thereafter. He decided that maintaining the marriage was impossible due to her actions and decided to divorce. He shared, my grandmother passed away on July 10th, and 1 month later, our pet dog Lotto died. Our whole family was having a hard time and FT Island had a sole performance scheduled. But Yulhee was not there to support him. It must have not been easy for Yulhee in this marriage too. I understood that and we reconciled. However, she left home a few days later again. She put on makeup during the time we should be putting the kids to sleep. She would leave at night and return home around 5 or 6 a.m. She slept all day and repeated this the next day and the day after. Here are more text messages that he shared. Yulhee, Appa, when you said you wanted a divorce, what was the biggest reason behind that decision? Choi Minhwan, the biggest thing was that I felt like I couldn't keep living my life like this. I didn't think things would get any better. You and I are so different in personality and how we live our lives, and it felt like neither of us would ever change. Yulhee, back then, did you even think about helping me a little so I could take the kids and live on my own? Choi Minhwan, I still think about it now, but realistically, I can't help you right away. Choi Minhwan, I paid all your taxes last year and deposited a few million won into your account for living expenses. After that, I've been living like a day laborer, just scraping by. Even now, I'm spending over 10 million won a month. I need to save up something before I can help you. Yulhee, so you did think about it? And you still think about it, even if just a little? Choi Minhwan, of course. That's why I said from the start that you could take my car and sell it for deposit money or something. Yulhee, I thought of that as a different issue because it was something we talked about earlier this year. Back then, it felt like you were saying, I messed up, so I'll do everything I can to help. But with this divorce issue, since you brought it up, I didn't feel like I could ask you for anything. You were the one who brought it up because of my problems and knowing the reality of our situation. However, Yulhee requested for mediation. On December 4th, Yulhee submitted a mediation request to the Seoul Family Court, seeking changes to custody and guardianship. Choi Minhwan and Yulhee finalized their divorce on December 8, 2023. The couple completed their divorce settlement on December 8, 2023. At the time of their divorce, they agreed on the terms for alimony and property division, deciding that no financial exchanges would take place. Custody and guardianship of the children were awarded to Choi Minhwan. However, Yulhee overturned the agreement a year later. She claimed, my married life changed 180 degrees after Choi Minhwan's visit to an illegal establishment, adding, after that incident, I hated being at home, placing the blame for the breakdown of their marriage on Choi Minhwan's misconduct. Choi Minhwan revisited a past conversation they had, which included a message from Yulhee saying, it's because of my issues that you brought this up first. First, Choi Minhwan clarified the allegations surrounding the alleged illegal establishment. He explained that the place he had visited was the karaoke bar where Yulhee's birthday party had been held. He added, Yulhee also knows the person I spoke to. He's the karaoke host, and the birthday party was held there. That place is not a brothel. It's the karaoke bar where we celebrated Yulhee's birthday. I works there, and when the room was unavailable that day, I asked about other options. Choi Minhwan admitted that there had been significant conflict between them due to Yulhee's lifestyle habits. He confessed, in the second half of 2022, I drank to relieve my stress. I handled the situation immaturely. According to the audio files released by Yulhee, Choi Minhwan had also asked about a shirt room, a type of bar with hostesses, inquiring about room fees and hostess charges, as well as asking for help reserving a motel. These details made it difficult for Yulhee not to suspect him of soliciting prostitution. Choi Minhwan explained, I asked about the shirt room because there were no available rooms at the karaoke bar. But I did not engage in prostitution. I admit that I gave her a reason to misunderstand. I acknowledged my fault, apologized, and reflected on my actions. However, Choi Minhwan emphasized that visiting the establishment was not the reason for their divorce. Choi Minhwan explained, when we agreed on the terms of our divorce, that issue was never even brought up. The main reason was our inability to bridge the gap in our lifestyles. So why is she suddenly bringing up the establishment issue as the cause of the divorce and demanding alimony? Choi Minhwan explained that at the time of their divorce settlement, Yulhee agreed that Choi Minhwan would have custody and guardianship of the children. However, a year later, she presented a different stance, asserting that she had always been, and still was, the primary caregiver. During the mediation request, Yulhee claimed Choi Minhwan spends long periods overseas and cannot properly care for the children. Even after the divorce, I have been the one raising them. But Choi Minhwan dismissed her claims as groundless. Choi Minhwan explained, "We started living separately in September 2023. In the 13 months since, she has only had visitation with the children 15 times. When I send the kids to her, I pack their clothes and belongings in a suitcase. How could she possibly be considered the primary caregiver?" Choi Minhwan insisted that he had never been negligent in caring for the children. He shared, "I take the kids to kindergarten. Even during overseas performances, I never miss providing feedback through the kids' communication app, Kids Note. When I'm unavailable, my mother handles drop-offs and pickups. I don't understand why she is suddenly insisting that she's the primary caregiver." Finally, Choi Minhwan explained, "At the time of the divorce, I was emotionally drained and couldn't fight back. But now, I feel I need to set things straight. It will be a long fight, but I can't let this go without trying." Choi Minhwan expressed his frustration, saying, "As a father of 3, I'm responsible for raising them and can't even step outside. This isn't the outcome I wanted at all. But I feel devastated by how things have turned out." He added, "Even after the divorce, I made efforts to be considerate toward Yulhee. But I don't understand why she's resorting to such extreme measures. I admit my faults, but I came forward because I wanted to correct the lies. I'm sorry." Meanwhile, Dispatch reached out to Yulhee multiple times to hear her side of the story, but they received no response. Therefore, Yulhee's statements have been compiled based on her mediation request to the court and her broadcast remarks. So yeah, this is all that happened. What are your thoughts on this? Thank you for watching and see you next time.